Alrighty then, it's time for a Dr. Mundo game, and I actually really like this game. Which one? You'll see. But I gotta give you a little bit of context before it starts, because everyone was pissed. Especially right from the start. Because I made my first pick, Dr. Mundo, and then my teammate made Cassidon, and then somebody goes, look at these shitty picks, GG, the game is over, etc, etc, shitty jungler, and all that other stuff. So it's a bit of a vindication game as well. Anyways, I do screw up my first clear opener here. I ended up hitting the small minion with 2 cleavers, and that's a big deal. That's a lot of damage gone. So the next, so Wolves becomes a very narrow clear. Thankfully, I get my smite to finish it, so just back off, heal, and sort of act like it never happened. Anyways, you can see Tryndamere getting super aggro against Ahri and getting chunked for quite a bit. She's got no health at this point, but I can't gank her right off the bat. I need to make sure to take my red buff secured so I can actually, do something. And on the way there, we find out that Diana is waiting for the kill. Thankfully for me, I have an exhaust and I can just sort of beat her to death. So narrowly I kill her, and mostly because I didn't exhaust fast enough. And then I get ignited, and then I die. And then Tryndamere rages uncontrollably at this point. You can see him just standing there just to type in rage, saying, stupid piece of shit jungler, you lost a lane for me, etc, etc. It's like, I came to help you, and Diana was just there and I had to kill her. So just because of a pity gank, I go top to try to see if I can do something, and then he pings me and says, go fuck off. So his lane is dead to me, but I kind of do have to help him because his bitch ass is, not doing so well. Anyways, that's the context so far of this game. Everyone is super tense because there's quite a bit of raging going on because our team composition isn't perfect and somebody's rather butthurt about it. Nonetheless, runes and masteries are the same as always for Dr. Mundo, though they're not completely clean. Right now I have some AD runes, mostly because my Dr. Mundo page, I forgot that I had switched it up for some experimental page during some practice clearing, and I never switched it back, so there's no Dr. Mundo page. Normally I would take Magic Pen Red, Armor Yellow, Magic Resistance Blues, and either Health Quints or Movement Speed Quints, so they're not perfect. Right now they're just Attack Speed Reds, attack damage reds, attack speed reds, and attack damage quints, armor yellow, and cooldown reduction blue, so it's not perfect. And the masteries are 12, 0, 18, pretty much as always. But yeah, you saw that gank on Ahri there. She had no summoner spells, so I just kind of ran in there, forced her to use her ultimate, and then just looped back and killed her. Here on Echo, same kind of thing. He doesn't have the damage to kill us both. So I'm just sort of gravitating in, trying to make sure I control him and let Tryndamere go in there and kill him, so we can finally force his ultimate out and then pile back on him and kill him. So I don't want to waste a lot of time or my health to try to do the little chase if he was just going to use his ultimate to re-heal himself. Anyways, Diana is here, she's obviously going to steal my red, but Tryndamere refuses to help me because he's pissed off. And of course, she's there. She actually burns her flash to finish me off. I thought I'd survive because my ultimate was almost coming off cooldown. So fortunately for me, at least, they catch her and they hunt her down. Finally, Tryndamere going in there because he wanted to make sure I died. That's how petty this game became. Nonetheless, it's so far so good. My team, I called it before the game started, the 5-minute victory. We have to win all our lanes or make sure we're not going to get completely stomped in order to even have a chance. Their composition isn't good either. Take that into consideration. Their composition is pretty shit. Mostly because 2 of my members can dive their members or whatever. But their Braum could single-handedly destroy us if he gets a good ultimate against us. And by the way, remember, right now my neighbors are yelling because they have pool parties every day, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, right now just sort of scouting the area around, trying to see if I can kill Echo again. No go, since they seem to have it warded. And then I go to the kill my Krugs. Watch this though. Echo makes it very clear that Diana is going to be around here for a gank because he throws down his W and then he goes in. Tryndamere just kind of taunts him by dashing out. He shouldn't have done that. He should have kept the resources up. And then Diana pops up. Well, I have my exhaust, so she pretty much can't do any fucking damage. And me and Tryndamere are able to just slowly beat her down. I back off just to wait my ultimate to heal. And I just keep my distance away from Echo. He doesn't really have any mana, but I don't need to be participating in this to kill him, so I just let Tryndamere beat him, and I made sure to control him with my my cleavers. And as you can see, this shitty team composition is winning right now because the enemy team is not respecting the individual power that we have. Dr. Mundo is a very powerful champion. Tryndamere is a very deadly champion if you don't, if you don't respect him, and they're not doing so. You can see that they think they can fight a Dr. Mundo in a 1v1 fight. or a 2v2 fight, but our damage is extreme and my tankiness is extreme rather quickly. And now you're gonna see one scene in this game later down the line just how fucking ridiculous it is. Here, the Diana, she got a little too greedy for this ward, but she should have realized that one, I was coming, and two, Cassidy would have chased her ass down anyways. So in that sense, keep that, like I said, they're not respecting the amount of aggro or how much just straight up power we have, and as a result they've kind of lost the early game, or at least control of the game, and now my team is able to sort of pick them off and start feeding off them, and our 5-minute victory thing is just getting exacerbated. Cassidy and me being big is all we really need to win. Cassidy they're going to want to focus on Cassidy, or else he's going to keep nuking them down tremendously. However, if they focus on him, I'll be able to just pile driver the Twitch or the Diana. They can't kill me by themselves. And if they focus me, then Cassidy's gonna blow a hole in them. That's really bad. However, of course, this is solo queue, so the great dreams and shit shatter rather quickly. So right now, the Cassidy you saw got caught because he got a little bit greedy, and then here, I'm going to get a little bit greedy too. My ultimate is down. I shouldn't have been doing this, but I got a little greedy because the Twitch got nearby and I thought he didn't have flash, so I burned my exhaust and went forward. And it resulted in me getting crowd control and the enemy team just diving me for the murder kill. Not that diving the tower, but they dive the tower for my teammates, and they don't die here yet. They manage to kill the Nami, and they eventually do kill another one of my teammates, and they manage to survive for quite a bit. I believe the only one who ends up dying is Braum, and then Tryndamere gets killed. So it's a very big gain for them. Still though, the enemy team doesn't seem to be too organized. They're hanging around with low health, and you can see that Cassidy is coming down just to, anal blast them, but they're gonna just scamper off with their meager health. Nonetheless, you look at my team, my build. I'm building magic resistance for a Spirit Visage, obviously. It's sometimes you would see me build stuff like Randuin's Omen or other items. I don't think Spirit Visage is necessarily the #1 item to build on Dr. Mundo in all situations, but in this case, their damage is going to do literally jack dick to me once I have my ultimate on. And once I build this item and another health item, which is going to be Randuin's Omen, they're literally not going to be able to kill me ever again. The moment where once the dragon comes up, I'm just alluding to it. A little stupid ass moment's gonna happen, and it's gonna make you a little bit happy. Anyways, my team is rather good at poking them down, but unfortunately we kind of stick around a little too much, and the Lucian gets sniped down. And now we're in a little bit of a full retreat, just sort of turning around to poke at them, or he gets in a little too close. We chunk them, and this is where the badassery starts shining. Okay, sort of. No matter all that focus fire, and they can't do anything to me. It's starting to showcase just the survivability I'm gonna have. I know it's Dr. Mundo. I don't think I gotta state it that much, but it's gonna play a huge part in this game. Again, alluding to it, it's probably one of the main reasons Dr. Mundo is one of my top 5 favorite champions of the game. And it's gonna kind of sad that they're gonna end up reworking him, and they might not be able to do that ever again. And again, it's also a reason I take exhaust, because I don't really need to use ghost or flash or anything to escape, because there's no real chance they're gonna kill him. Anyways, my Anami gets caught, and she has an incredible reaction to this. And the enemy team just sort of bungled themselves up here. Her ultimate hits 4 of the enemy team, and she survives along with that flash. Standard play for sure, but now the enemy team is sort of in a really bad position, and they're getting a little bit greedy, and we're able to poke them down, and they decided to chase Cassidy for whatever reason, and that's probably a stupid idea in the first place, because they burned a lot of resources, and it's going to allow us to sort of we're going to be able to take advantage of that. Lucian and me go forward. We slow down the Braum and we catch him, and we're just poking at him, not really intending to kill. But the enemy team, once more, pushes ahead. Look, the Echo gets too greedy. Pushes ahead, accomplishes nothing, and my teammates dive and start blowing him up. Now the enemy team sort of dives on that, but it was probably a terrible idea, because now it allows me, the front line, and the Lucian to just start freely blasting them at them because they burned too many resources on the Cassidy. And here, the Echo does kill the Cassidy, but it was not really worth it, because now they're such in a bad position that the Lucian is able just to mop them up. Like I said, they're a pretty bad composition too, and they need to be following up on the Braum, but not in that case. That was a pretty poor one. They had burned all their resources. They were able to only reuse the resources again, or whatever came up, so they weren't really prepared, and they went too ham on Cassidy. Anyways, I'm tanking the dragon. He's dealing about 1/3 of my health here. Echo comes in and he was likely thinking, easy fucking kill. I can kill him that dragon. And you can see just how much fucking damage I'm dealing. I don't even have my ultimate yet. He doesn't even come close to finishing me off. I mean, if I had my ultimate, I'd be able to just beat his ass alone. And then he dies. I love that. I love that. It's just in his mind, he's just thinking that played out differently in my head than it actually played out in real life. But either way, that mistake by Echo caused Diana to get a little bit too forward because she thought maybe they'd be able to turn the fight around, and it got her killed. And then by proxy, it gets Rom killed because he's just there trying to help out a homie, and that allows us to sweep a couple towers down, or at least deal a little bit of damage to the towers. Or we can't really do much here right now. I back up, start scanning the area around. Now we're basically playing a control game because we're pretty much dominant. And now if we can sort of control the map, there's pretty much they're gonna have absolutely no chance of doing anything without us at least just crushing them like a walnut. Anyhow, my build is basically near completion, and I'm buying myself some pink wards to drop just to make sure to kill the Twitch. And either way, here's the moment that I was building up or hyping it up towards. They get in a little line and allows Lucian just to absolutely handblast them. Diana dies with basically no effort. I chase after the Twitch, and no matter how Twitch is focusing me, Braum is focusing me, Ari comes in, they can't stop me before I murder Twitch's sorry ass. And I'm still alive, and they just can't kill me fast enough before the Cassidy shows up, kills the Ari, and then Braum has to die again because he's the lowly support. I love that. So, I love that so much about Dr. Mundo. It's like, if they focus me, they die by the rest of my team. If they focus my teammates, I'll kill someone important, and then they'll just lose. I love that. And that's the perfect example of it for Dr. Mundo. And that's kind of one of the bigger reasons I say you shouldn't be afraid of picking him. He's a perfect elo solo queue kind of champion. Because just a lot of players don't handle it well. They're like, oh, I don't have to take Ignite. Building Executioner is calling is stupid. And as a result, they just get rolled by Dr. Mundo. I mean, the only Ignite they have on the Ari, and I guess that makes sense. But I would have figured they would have wanted to put it on another champion. Maybe even the Braum, just because the Ignite would have dealt... In fact, yeah, it's stupid. They needed more Ignites because we have a Tryndamere and a Dr. Mundo. But I guess, just they got to build the same damn shit they always build. So right now, my team is just... There's literally nothing the enemy team can do. There's too many threats on my team. My team in general is ridiculously hard to kill. The Nami's pretty much on the ball all the time. I mean, she either sacrifices herself to keep somebody alive or manages to pull off some big-ass play to make sure Lucian can run off or scamper off. In this case, though, she and Cassidy work together to kill a few on the other side, and me and Tryndamere work together to push down mid. Again, they can't do jack dick before we just recover ourselves or run away and scamper off. So it's just a very sad beatdown at this point. And to be honest, the enemy team, it's all their fault. They didn't build properly. They didn't take ignites when they probably needed to. They really, really underestimated the amount of power these champions have. I mean, that's kind of a grim prospect. When a champion becomes underused, no longer popular or out of meta, that players suddenly forget, oh wait, Dr. Mundo's ridiculously hard to kill and you shouldn't try fighting him 1v1, he'll beat your ass. But of course not. Just if they nerf something completely unrelated, it somehow makes all the values that this champion had completely irrelevant, right? Anyways, like I said, if you hear any weird yelling, because right now my neighbors are chanting for some reason, I guess they're trying to summon Cthulhu or some shit. Either way, the enemy team is basically down to their last Nexus tower. I'm able to take down the last inhibitor tower, just tanking it because I basically take no fucking damage. And my teammates have controlled pretty much every dragon to this point, and soon enough we're going to get Baron just to pretty much put the nail in the coffin. My build is complete, and I was even contemplating getting a Guardian Angel because they could barely kill me once. I mean, they can't even kill me once, so imagine trying to kill me twice. But instead, I opted just to get Warmog's armor because that would be even more hilarious. Of course, I don't end up completing it because the enemy team is basically on their death throes. So, and look at the kill disparity of my team is beautiful. You can see I don't have the most kills. I have a lot of assists, but that's perfect. That's what we need. Tryndamere has the most kills alongside Lucian, and Cassidy has a healthy amount as well. And the CS is alright too. It's rather spread out. So Yeah, it's just this was an incredible game for my team, despite our shitty composition. It just goes to show it. You can have the shitty composition, but sometimes your opponents might just play it so poorly that it doesn't fucking matter. So here is just like the perfect example of what they couldn't do. They can't kill me. I absorbed pretty much all the damage, and I was able to do quite a bit of damage myself. And by focusing me, my teammates just ran a train on their asses. And with that, the game is basically over. But to be honest, it was kind of over from the get-go. The enemy team just failed to. And hooray for Dr. Mundo, hooray for this composition, and hopefully the Trinamir sees something about those anger issues, because holy shit. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.